Welcome back to the channel. This is my S26 Ultra and it's running the One UI 9.0 Android 17. This is the first official beta. As you can see, the build number is ZZEF and it has a security patch level from the 5th of May. But look what I have here, software update, and there is a red dot. And in Samsung world, red dots are most of the time good things. This means updates. And yeah, this is the One UI 9.0, the beta 2. So the version this time is ZZEQ, and I'm very happy to see that Samsung finally are releasing proper changelog. They fixed apparently tons of bugs. The GPU watch interruption pop-up issue fixed. The GPU watch is a tool that you can access from developer options. I'm going to show this to you and you can do a bunch of stuff with it. It can be very useful if you want to monitor some of your performance. Improved the non-functioning issue in the routine app, which is pretty cool because one of the most powerful things from One UI are exactly routines. They also improved the status bar display error, which is pretty good because this can be quite annoying and it's in front of you all the time. Fixed an error when the lock screen clock font does not change in Lockstar installation state. This is something I'm going to test. Lockstar is a module that you can install from GoodLock. I'm going to show you. Improved delay issue when deleting messages in a bulk, which can be pretty handy if you want to delete more messages at once. And also improved issue where the lock screen clock gradually moves down, which is not good. And last but not least, improved Game Booster entry point setting error. Game Booster has been redesigned in One UI 9.0 and it has a brand new interface. I'm gonna show you. Now something that really drew my attention, guys, this is no random update. Almost 1,700 megabytes, a rather large update, and the security patch level is from the 5th of June. I really enjoy making videos like this. This is 27th of May. I'm recording this video today and you can see I'm already having things from the future. Now, also something important I would like to check because the version is ZZEQ. What happens when I click here? Because again, this is the main site where Samsung are providing their updates, but since this is a beta, here you only get the release notes for the current stable version. This is One UI 8.5, still running on Android 16. Also, some of the bigger questions. How many of these brand new stunning, some of them I would say, features from Android 17 are implemented here? My gut feeling is almost none, because Google are gonna save all this good stuff for later release, probably QPR2 and whatever, probably in September when they release the new Pixel. So I don't really hope to see any new things. There's gonna be the small under the hood changes, but something that is also very important, because people keep asking me, hey, can you use this as a main daily driver? I can, guys. I have all my cards here and it works. I'm able to pay with my cards. It's absolutely certified. By the way, Google Wallet works. Yesterday I was in a concert for Iron Maiden, so I was there. Yeah, everything really works with Google Wallet. The phone is Play Protect certified and I'm now using this as my main daily driver. So after the update has been installed and downloaded, I'm going to show you what I do as some housekeeping activities, running the Good Guardians and optimizing my phone with Galaxy App Booster. Then I'm going to be checking some of that animation. We are almost done. I can now restart my phone. As you can see, I have two options here. I can schedule the restart for maybe later, or I can just hit restart now. And this is now the new update process with the new user interface. They change a bit the menus. This is how it looks like. Some people asking me, can you go back in the recovery and delete the cache partition? Not anymore with Android 17, but also prior to that, because Google really changed the way this thing works with the AMDB partition, so it's no longer required. Sadly, you cannot do this. Probably you don't need to do this, but I am still using Samsung Good Guardians to optimize my applications, the one that I use, and I'm going to show you how this works after this reboot. And here we are, the phone booted, and this is the first start. Now pay attention, the moment you boot for the first time, you know, there's going to be something still going on the background, right? To see finishing system update. Alright, so initially the phone might feel a bit laggy, but that's okay. Usually this is a very quick process. Before checking the new update, I need to make sure that this thing here goes away, finishing the previous update. And now you can see your phone has been updated, right? When you click it, you can see software update. Your phone has been updated. So I'm now back inside the settings and I'm gonna check. Yeah, this is One UI 9.0. Before I do my testing, guys, I'm going to show you what I mentioned about the Good Guardians. Good Guardians is a Samsung stock application that you can download from the Samsung store. But if this thing does not appear here because it's Samsung and sometimes those apps are geo-fenced or restricted, you can still try to download manually the APK and sideload it. You need to understand that the Good Guardian works exactly as GoodLock. It's more like an agent, so more like a module manager. You need to install the Good Guardian, and from the Good Guardian you can choose which things you would like to have or not. And I can show you. So right now, nothing is installed on my phone, but I have access to the battery tracker, the battery guardian, the thermal guardian, which is honestly pretty good. I need two things from here. I need the Galaxy App Booster, right? And you see the moment I click it, it's actually a link to the Samsung Galaxy Store. I'm going to install it, all right? And although it says that it supports One UI 8.5, I really hope it's going to work here. And I'm also going to install something else. This is the Thermal Guardian. Again, the main message here is that this tool works on One UI 8.5. Why is Thermal Guardian so important? Because it allows you to manually offset the temperature threshold for your phone, which means that if I go here, right, you can see I can now increase the thermal threshold with 2 Celsius, which means that my phone will tolerate more heat before hopefully starting to throttle, all right, which is pretty cool. You get more performance, but I can also do something like this. You know, I can set the thermal threshold to be decreased with 2 Celsius, which means that my phone will not allow heat. And the moment I start to put heavy load on it, it will probably throttle. You have a very cool option that is a stock option to control the thermal thresholds of your phone. But let me show you the Galaxy App Booster, because I do this after every update. As you can see, I have a bunch of apps, right? Now you don't need to optimize all of them, because you can only optimize the applications that you used in the past 30 days. Now, if you ask me, I'm not using 200 apps, so a lot of system things are there. Nevertheless, I'm going to hit that. And you can see now, this is going to go through all my applications. I'm not sure exactly what it's doing, like probably deleting some of that old cache files or whatever. Anyway, my recommendation is after a firmware update, right? It will not hurt you guys. Just go download Good Guardians, use the Galaxy App Booster, just run it. And yeah, hopefully it's going to be better. We are done here, so I'm going to press done. And I'm just going to go back to my home screen. And by the way, before I do so, yeah, there are many other things from here that can be quite useful. Something like this is Memory Guardian, which you can use to fine tune the way the phone is going to handle open applications. What do I mean from here? Well, when you open Good Guardian, first you can do a lot of things, like probably just clean the memory, which is pretty cool. You have some history of which of the application is consuming the most memory, which I think is pretty handy. Like if you go to history, you can see cache memory, and then this is the running memory, and you have the system memory. And you have also this thing, which I think is pretty important. This is the customize option. So it allows you to modify the default settings that you cannot do from anywhere else. And if I go to quick switching mode, this will allow my phone to keep more apps in the background, right? When using the previously used app again, it is more likely to run with the latest state of the app. What does this mean? So let's open Facebook and then X, all right, and then something else, close them, open them after 2 hours. They should stay exactly where they are without the app to be refreshed again, which is pretty cool. But you have also speed up top up mode. So when you run an app that uses a lot of memory, it's probably likely to slow down because of this. And it is recommended if you use the game frequently or use a small number of apps. Honestly, I just keep these things here default. And there are also other things. If you don't want to go and kill all the apps from your RAM, you can go inside and include excluded apps. All right. And the One UI Home, by the way, is here by default. So now I'm back on my home screen and it's time to check some of the things. And I always start with this animation. Honestly, guys, this is pretty flawless. The only issue with this animation is when I do something like this and I turn my phone into the landscape mode, and this nagged me for at least 3 years. This never worked perfectly, but right now we can see with One UI 9.0 and with the S26 Ultra, oh boy, this now works absolutely as a charm. No delays, no stutters. This is what I expect, nevertheless, from a phone that is so expensive and should be like the top of the line. And it is the top of the line from Samsung. Right, let's try to check some widgets. I'm gonna load the weather here. Perfect animation. I can see no problem. And then let me just check the now brief. Everything here seems to be okay. Yeah, you know, bumps, right? I like the bumps, but not so much. All right, camera. Hi, everybody. So let's close the camera. You can see how quickly this thing is. All right, photo, video. All right. Maybe a slow starter. I'm not sure. One more time. Photo, video, photo, video. All right. And then, guys, I'm gonna try to open some apps from the home screen, and I'm gonna use my fingers like this because it's just so easy for me. And with this big bump, that's absolutely impossible. All right, as you can see now, Samsung is really getting very good with animations, right? Now, I know people will say in the comments, not the best animations, no, probably boring, probably the blur is not great, and yeah, you know, everybody's entitled to have its own opinion. What I care is, yeah, I wanna have a stutter-free experience. When I pay the top dollar, I want everything to be fast, quick, and responsive. And honestly, I have a feeling that Samsung are finally here. But let's try to check what happens with this thing here. This is Spotify. All right. Spotify widget. All right. Not that bad. And let me show you something, guys. If you're not familiar, One UI 90, this is probably the best media player in town. You can see with the sound wave just like that, and we have this also here. And yes, also one of the new big changes so far has been these very big bars for the display and the sound, and disconnected display and sound toggles. You can see they're not connected to here, and you know, we can do wonders with this thing. And because it's Samsung, it's customizable. You can play with the size. You know how it goes. You can really tweak this to your own taste. If that's your thing, you want to stay like this, fine. I mean, you can do this from here. But just going back on my lock screen, let's do this. Okay, so here I have the now bar. All right, and we have this beautiful theming. I pretty much like it. Let's try to check this animation. All right, not bad. And what I do like is that every time you just change the track, it's gonna change the colors here. It's dynamically themed, which I think is pretty cool. And you can see this happening every time, right? And I think the animation is also pretty dope. And by the way, also from here, you can have multiple things, right? Like just right now, I'm having Do Not Disturb, and I have the now bar. And this is so good, you know, even with this thing, like I like the overlap. See, I have now the sound waves, boom, I have the Do Not Disturb, and then it fades slowly. This is just so great. But we are here for the testing, so I'm going to open my Good Lock, and I'm gonna try to install Lockstar. Speaking about Lockstar, it's currently not working on Android 17 One UI 9.0, and that's the same status also for Home App, which is probably like the best module. And they mentioned a fix of an error where the lock screen clock font does not change in the Lockstar installation status. So maybe if I had Lockstar before firmware 8.5, it would have worked. No clue, but I am right now not able to install Lockstar. Anyway, let's just move to the next list. Now I'm gonna go inside my developers options, and this is the menu from where you can access the GPU watch. If you don't want to scroll all the way, right, you just need to enable your developers options. And once you're inside your developer settings, just keep scrolling until you find something called the GPU watch. Get information about an app's CPU and GPU usage. This is the GPU watch, and let me tell you, it's a very cool application. The moment you enable it, you're gonna see there are some standard widgets, right, that can show you FPS, load, like CPU and GPU, and context info. And this is how it really looks like. So now if I'm to open a game, I'm gonna be able to see my FPS and also CPU and GPU location. And then inside, there's gonna be some information in terms of resolutions and stuff like this. Honestly, let me just try to open a game and illustrate it. And for this, I'm trying to open Brawl Stars because I just wanna see if this is gonna work. Well, it is. So now I can see the FPS and I'm getting the context info. So I know that I'm using this type of resolution, and I know that I'm using OpenGL, and I can check the CPU and the GPU. And the best part, this is customizable. So you can just create your own custom widgets, or you can just use the one that are available stock. And there is also a whole guide on, you know, how you can use it to just achieve your goals. But I'm gonna disable it right now. I'm just gonna go back inside the game, because remember, they also mention an update for Game Booster. Now, if you don't know, this is the new Game Booster. This is the new design. I think it's pretty cool, right? You can go directly through performance or balance or battery saver. You have game mode, system monitor. System monitor is also something very cool, because now natively it will give you FPS information, CPU allocation, GPU allocation, and RAM. And the only thing that is missing here for me would be like the wattage, like how much power is my phone consuming right now, burning right now on my battery as I'm really playing those games. But there are many other things, and let me show you. If you go here inside the settings, those are the game booster settings from where you can bypass charging your battery when you have like a USB PD compatible charger, which is pretty good. And from this menu there are even more things that you can do. Like if you click on the performance, you get access to advanced settings like FPS, frame booster, right, screen resolution, and you can just try to increase those things, you know, like frame booster, like frame generation. Oh my god, crazy. FPS, you can try to select the maximum, right? Also, there is the game mode. When you click on the game mode, you can actually go to modes and routines and set up a customized game mode. And when you turn this game mode, it's gonna block auto brightness during games. It's going to block edge panel during games, which kind of makes sense. And it's also gonna block Bixby during games. And the whole idea is to minimize the distractions, right? It's gonna turn on the do not disturb, and then it's gonna do all these things. And of course, you can always go and choose a custom thing, which is pretty cool. And this is really why a lot of people, including me, you know, are big fans of Samsung One UI, because really the most complete, powerful, customizable stock operating system. No flawless by any means, but I think it's very good. One last thing I want to check. I'm gonna head directly here in my settings under security and privacy. Why? Because there is something here that requires a manual check, and this is the Google Play System update. As you can see, I'm using the one from March this year. This thing never updates stock. I don't know why. Like, this thing never updates alone over the air. You need to just go and trigger it, and then it's going to be over the air, right? So now I'm going to apply the latest updates, and when I go back in this menu, I will do another check, because sometimes there are like 2 consecutive updates. And this has been the One UI 9 Beta 2. Honestly, it's pretty stable. Is it good for daily driving? I would say, yeah, absolutely. But don't forget, this is beta software, so this is maybe more suited for more experienced users, right? And some of the things will still not work. And it's Android 17, so maybe before doing that, installing the beta, just check if your banking app supports Android 17 or vice versa, stuff like this. Nevertheless, this has been the One UI 9 Now Beta 2 on my S26 Ultra, and I really hope that you have enjoyed this video. And if that's the case, you're more than welcome to support the channel and check some of my other videos. Stay safe.